The Hunter's Edge. The starlight glinted off the sleek hull of the UES Stormbreaker as it drifted silently through the Cygnus expanse, its stealth systems rendering it nearly invisible against the backdrop of space. On the bridge, Captain Ilara Voss stood with her hands clasped behind her back, her steel-gray eyes reflecting the distant stars on the view screen. "Status report, Commander Chen," she said, her voice carrying the quiet confidence that had earned her command of humanity's most advanced warship. Commander David Chen looked up from his console. "All systems nominal, Captain. We're maintaining position at the edge of disputed territory. No sign of collective activity in this sector." Voss nodded. The Stormbreaker was an experimental vessel, the culmination of decades of human innovation and engineering. While the United Earth Alliance had established itself as a respectable power in the galactic community, they were still considered newcomers by the ancient species that formed the collective, a loose alliance of 7 technologically advanced alien civilizations that controlled nearly a third of the known galaxy. For centuries, the collective had been the unchallenged authority in this region of space. They tolerated human expansion, but only within carefully delineated boundaries. The Stormbreaker's current mission, a routine patrol of those boundaries, was ostensibly a peaceful one. But both Voss and her superiors at Earth Command knew that the ship's true purpose was to test the waters, to see how far humanity could push before the collective pushed back. "Captain," called Lieutenant Rivera from the communication station, "I'm picking up a distress signal. It's faint, but it's definitely human in origin." Voss frowned. "Location: approximately 2 light minutes from our position," Rivera replied. "Inside collective territory." A tense silence fell over the bridge. Under normal circumstances, responding to a human distress call would be automatic, but crossing into collective space without authorization could be interpreted as an act of aggression. "What kind of ship?" Voss asked. "Civilian transport by the signature, the SS Horizon. Registered out of New Mars Colony." Voss made her decision. "Set a course, maximum stealth. Let's find out what's happening before we announce ourselves." The Stormbreaker slipped deeper into the expanse, its revolutionary quantum displacement drive leaving barely a ripple in space-time. As they approached the source of the distress signal, the ship's sensors revealed a troubling scene. A human transport vessel drifting helplessly, surrounded by 3 collective cruisers. "Magnify," Voss ordered, and the view screen zoomed in to show boarding shuttles moving between the cruisers and the human ship. "Those aren't rescue operations," Chen observed grimly. "No," Voss agreed. "They're taking our people." The collective had strict protocols for human vessels that entered their territory, protocols that did not include forced boarding. Whatever was happening here violated not only human rights but the fragile peace between their civilizations. "Life signs on the transport?" Voss asked. 47 human signatures," reported the sensor officer. "Weak but stable. The ship's been disabled by ion charges. Clean work. They wanted the ship intact." Voss considered her options. The Stormbreaker could easily outgun the 3 collective cruisers, but initiating combat would have far-reaching diplomatic consequences. Yet she couldn't simply watch as human civilians were abducted. "Open a channel," she finally ordered. "All frequencies." The communications officer complied, and Voss straightened her uniform before speaking. "Attention collective vessels. This is Captain Ilara Voss of the United Earth Alliance warship Stormbreaker. You are currently engaged in an unauthorized boarding of a human civilian vessel. Release the ship and its crew immediately, or we will be forced to intervene." For several tense moments, there was no response. Then the view screen flickered, revealing the angular insectoid features of a Zyrtac commander, one of the founding species of the collective. "Human vessel," the alien said, its mandibles clicking in apparent agitation. "Your presence in collective space is unlawful. Depart immediately or face consequences." "With respect, Commander," Voss replied evenly. "I cannot leave while human lives are in danger. That transport has the right of peaceful passage under the Arcturus Treaty." The Zyrtac's compound eyes flashed. The humans aboard this vessel are suspected of espionage against the collective. They will be detained and questioned according to our laws. Then provide evidence of these accusations through proper diplomatic channels, Voss countered. Random seizures of civilian ships violate interstellar law. We do not recognize your authority here, human, the Zyrtec hissed. This is your final warning. The transmission cut abruptly, and Chen reported, Captain, they're powering weapons. Voss's expression hardened. Raise shields. Target their propulsion systems only. We disable, not destroy. And ready a rescue team. What happened next would later be described in collective intelligence reports as tactically impossible. The Stormbreaker's shields absorbed the initial volley from all three collective cruisers without so much as flickering. Then, with surgical precision, the human warship fired a series of concentrated pulse beams that disabled the collective vessel's engines without causing catastrophic damage. Before the collective commanders could regroup, a shuttle launched from the Stormbreaker, protected by the warship's formidable defensive systems. In less than 20 minutes, the shuttle returned with all 47 human civilians from the transport vessel. Captain, Chen reported, the collective ships are calling for reinforcements. Long-range sensors show a battle group changing course to intercept. Estimated arrival: 30 minutes. Voss nodded. She had achieved her primary objective, the rescue of the human civilians, but now faced a potentially larger threat. What's the status of the quantum displacement drive? She asked. Ready, Captain, but Chen hesitated. If we use it at full capacity this close to the collective ships, they'll detect the energy signature. They'll know about our advanced propulsion technology. This was the crux of the dilemma. The quantum displacement drive was humanity's most closely guarded technological secret, a propulsion system that allowed for near-instantaneous travel without the limitations of traditional FTL drives. If the collective learned of its existence, it would shift the balance of power dramatically. But Voss saw no alternative. Better they know we have it than capture it, she decided. Prepare for full quantum displacement. Set coordinates for Earth Command. As the collective reinforcements approached, the Stormbreaker vanished in a brief, brilliant flash of blue-white energy, leaving behind 3 disabled collective cruisers and a mystery that would send shockwaves through the galaxy. The diplomatic firestorm erupted immediately upon the Stormbreaker's return to Earth. The collective lodged formal protests, accusing humanity of territorial aggression and technological deception. They demanded the surrender of both the Stormbreaker and Captain Voss for crimes against galactic peace. Earth Command's response was measured but firm. The Stormbreaker had acted within its rights to protect human civilians from unlawful detention. Moreover, they countered with evidence, recovered from the civilian transport's data cores, suggesting that the collective had been systematically intercepting human ships to study Earth's technological advancements. As tensions escalated, Voss was summoned to a high-security briefing with Admiral Helena Reyes, the architect of Earth's defense strategy. You've stirred up quite the hornet's nest, Captain, Reyes remarked, though her tone suggested more approval than criticism. The collective was crossing lines. Admiral, Voss responded. They needed to know we wouldn't stand for it. Reyes nodded. Well, they certainly know now. And they're terrified. She activated a holographic display showing intelligence reports from across collective space. Their leadership is in chaos. Some factions are calling for immediate military action against Earth. Others are advocating for a new treaty that would grant us more autonomy. And which faction is winning? Voss asked. Unfortunately, the Hawks are gaining ground. Our analysts predict the collective will attempt to show a force, likely targeting the Stormbreaker specifically. Reyes's expression grew serious. They can't allow the existence of a human vessel that can outmatch their technology. It undermines the basis of their authority. So what's our play? Reyes smiled thinly. That's where it gets interesting. Earth Command has authorized a mission that would normally be considered provocative. The hologram shifted to show a star system deep within collective territory. At its center pulsed a bright blue star surrounded by an artificial ring structure. "This is Nexus Primus," Rise explained. "The Collective's central communications hub. Every major military and diplomatic transmission passes through it. Our intelligence suggests they're coordinating a large-scale assault on human colonies from this facility." Voss studied the holographic display with growing understanding. "You want the Stormbreaker to strike there? That would be seen as a declaration of war." "Not strike," Rise corrected. "Appear. Demonstrate our capability to reach their most secure installation. Then deliver a message. Any action against human worlds will be met with immediate reprisal." "A bluff." Voss raised an eyebrow. "Is it?" Rise asked pointedly. "The Stormbreaker has already proven it can outmatch collective warships. Now they need to understand that distance and borders won't protect them either." As Voss considered the audacity of the plan, she realized that humanity was taking its first steps toward redefining its place in the galactic order. The Stormbreaker wasn't just a warship. It was becoming a symbol of human potential and determination. "When do we depart?" she asked. "Immediately," Rise replied. "The future of human expansion may depend on what happens next." Defiance of stars. The quantum displacement drive hummed with barely contained power as the Stormbreaker prepared for its most daring mission yet. In the ship's briefing room, Captain Voss addressed her senior officers, their faces reflecting a mixture of pride and apprehension. "I won't sugarcoat this," Voss said, gesturing to the holographic display of Nexus Primus. "We're about to venture deeper into collective territory than any human vessel in history. Our objective is to demonstrate our technological capability and deliver a warning, not to engage in combat. But if the collective forces us into a confrontation, we will respond with overwhelming force." Commander Chen studied the tactical overlays with a furrowed brow. "The Nexus is protected by at least 20 warships at any given time, plus orbital defense platforms. Even with our advantages, those are difficult odds." "Which is why timing is critical," Voss replied. "We'll emerge from quantum displacement directly beside the Nexus, broadcast our message, and depart before they can organize an effective response." She turned to her chief engineer, Lieutenant Commander Okafor. "What's the status of the quantum disruptor?" Okafor, a brilliant physicist who had helped develop much of the Stormbreaker's advanced technology, straightened. "Operational, Captain, but untested in field conditions. The simulations suggest it will work as designed, creating a localized disruption of quantum fields that will temporarily disable any vessel within range." This was the Stormbreaker's true secret weapon, not just its revolutionary propulsion system, but its ability to neutralize enemy ships without destroying them. If successful, it would cement humanity's technological superiority in the most dramatic fashion possible. "Very good," Voss said. "We depart in 30 minutes. Prepare your departments." As the officers filed out, Chen lingered. "Captain, may I speak freely?" "Always, David. This mission, we're changing the course of human history. Are we certain this is the right path?" "The Collective has maintained stability in this region for millennia." Voss considered her second-in-command's concern. "Stability built on the subjugation of younger species," she said quietly. "Humanity wasn't meant to remain confined to the borders they'd drawn for us. We've earned our place among the stars through innovation and perseverance. Today, we're simply making that clear." Chen nodded, seemingly satisfied with her answer, and left to prepare the ship. Alone, Voss studied the star chart once more. The mission before them carried immense risk, but also the promise of a new era for humanity. Whatever happened at Nexus Primus would reverberate across the galaxy for generations to come. The quantum displacement was flawless. One moment, the Stormbreaker was in Earth orbit. The next, it materialized beside the massive crystalline structure of Nexus Primus, its sudden appearance triggering immediate alarm throughout the collective facility. "Broadcast on all frequencies," Voss ordered calmly, standing at the center of the bridge as chaos erupted around them. Collective vessels scrambled to defensive positions, their weapon systems powering up. "Channel open, Captain," reported Lieutenant Rivera. Voss took a deep breath, and addressed not just the collective forces surrounding them, but the entire galactic community. "This is Captain Ilara Voss of the United Earth Alliance vessel Stormbreaker. We come not as aggressors, but as messengers. For too long, the collective has dictated the terms of human expansion, treating us as subordinates rather than equals. Today, that changes." On the view screen, collective warships were moving to encircle the Stormbreaker, their weapons charged and targeting systems locked. "We have discovered your systematic violation of the Arcturus Treaty," Voss continued, her voice unwavering. "The illegal detention of human civilians, the technological espionage against our colonies. These actions have consequences." She nodded to Commander Chen, who activated a data transmission that began streaming to the Nexus. Detailed evidence of collective transgressions against human interests, gathered over years of covert observation. The United Earth Alliance now offers a choice: recognize humanity as a full and equal partner in galactic affairs, with all the rights and privileges thereof, or face the technological superiority we have thus far kept hidden. To demonstrate our resolve, Voss signaled to Okafor, who activated the quantum disruptor. A ripple of invisible energy spread outward from the Stormbreaker, washing over the nearest collective vessels. One by one, their systems went dark, weapons, propulsion, and communications disabled simultaneously. "This is not an attack," Voss emphasized. "Your ships will regain full functionality within 1 hour. Consider this a demonstration of restraint, not aggression. We could have come with a fleet. Instead, we came with a proposal, a new treaty based on mutual respect and equal standing." The remaining collective ships hesitated, clearly unsure whether to attack a vessel that had just neutralized their comrades without firing a shot. "You have 48 hours to respond through established diplomatic channels," Voss concluded. "Choose wisely. The future of peace in this galaxy depends on your decision." With that, she signaled for the quantum displacement drive to engage once more. The Stormbreaker vanished as suddenly as it had appeared, leaving behind a stunned collective and a message that could not be ignored. The next 2 days were the most tense in recent human history. Military forces throughout Earth's colonies were placed on high alert. Civilian ships were recalled to protected space. The Stormbreaker itself maintained a position near Jupiter, ready to respond to any collective incursion. Then, exactly 47 hours after their demonstration at Nexus Primus, a transmission arrived from the highest echelons of the collective leadership. In the Earth Command Situation Room, Admiral Rice played the message for Voss and the assembled military and political leaders. The speaker was not a Zyrtec, as everyone had expected, but Ilorian, one of the more moderate species within the collective. Its luminescent, jellyfish-like form pulsed with changing colors as it spoke. "People of Earth," the Lorian began, its translated voice resonant and calm. "The events at Nexus Primus have forced a reconsideration of humanity's place in the galactic community. While some within the collective advocated for immediate military response, wiser counsels have prevailed." The room remained silent, hardly daring to hope. "Your species has demonstrated not only remarkable technological achievement, but also restraint. You could have used your advantages to inflict devastating damage. Instead, you chose to communicate. This wisdom, perhaps more than your warship's capabilities, has earned our respect." The Lorian paused, its colors shifting to a deep blue. "Therefore, the collective proposes a revision of the Arcturus Treaty. Humanity will be granted full autonomy within an expanded territory, and a seat at the collective's ruling council. In exchange, we ask for technological cooperation, not surrender, but collaboration, to ensure that advancement benefits all sentient species." As the message concluded, the room erupted in murmurs of disbelief and cautious celebration. Admiral Rice turned to Voss with a satisfied smile. "It appears your mission was a complete success, Captain." Voss nodded, feeling the weight of the moment. "This is just the beginning, Admiral. The real work starts now." In the months that followed, The Stormbreaker became a symbol not just of human military power, but of diplomatic transformation. As the flagship for human collective negotiations, it visited worlds that had previously been closed to humanity, its very presence a reminder of the new balance of power. Captain Voss found herself thrust into the role of not just military commander, but ambassador of human potential. During one particularly meaningful exchange with a Zyrtec diplomat, the same species that had once dismissed her authority, she was asked what humanity planned to do with its newly recognized status. Explore, she answered simply. Create. Connect. The stars weren't meant to divide us, but to challenge us to reach beyond our limitations. Humanity doesn't seek dominance. We seek partnership, but partnership based on equality, not subjugation. The Zyrtec considered this with a tilt of its angular head. Your ship's name, Stormbreaker. It suggests the power to overcome great forces. Voss smiled. Or the ability to clear the air after a storm. Sometimes, perspective is everything. As the Stormbreaker continued its journey through the stars, it carried with it a truth that resonated throughout the galaxy. Humanity had arrived not just as another species among many, but as a force that would help shape the future of all worlds. A single warship had changed the course of galactic history not through destruction, but through the uniquely human blend of innovation, determination, and hope. And in the vast expanse of space, new possibilities dawned for all sentient beings who looked up at the stars and dared to dream of what might be.